we already done our picks for this week. So like, just to reiterate, I got the Bucks over Cowboys. I got the Vikings over the Giants, and I got Seattle over 49ers. And
why are you laughing? Why are you laughing, bro?
That would lead me to an Eagles versus Seahawks matchup in the divisional round. And of course, I got the Seahawks there. No,
you do.
No doubt, I got the Seahawks there. They already slay the 49ers.
If they've slayed the 49ers, then it might just be that miracle run sort of season.
Yeah, they're playing with house money.
I'm fine with that.
The Eagles got a bye. They're a little bit tight. I love the Eagles. I think that they're great.
Honestly, both teams with byes last season, which obviously, admittedly, were maybe somewhat shaky. Both teams with byes last season lost the first game they played. Right? Yeah. Right. The Titans and the Packers did not get to play more than one playoff game last season, and they were the 1 seeds.
Yeah, so
that is a point. That's actually a great point, I would even say.
Yeah, so I love what can I say? I love Seattle. Gino is like our hero. And then of course you got the killer game, which would be the Bucks versus the Vikings. And so I'm gonna go ahead and take the Vikings there. Okay, somehow because Bucks are trash. And next thing you know,
if that's the game, it has to be. I think it has to be. Yeah.
And next thing you know, you got the NFC Championship game is Seahawks versus Vikings. That's what everybody thought. And think about this. It's at this point, it's not even like the Seahawks have already beaten the 49ers and the Eagles. The Vikings have beaten the Giants and the Bucks. This is going to be a blowout. Seattle is going to kill the Vikings in the championship game. I mean, and that's going to be that.
Honestly, if that's how the cards are setting up, you're 100. Like if the Seahawks are going to go in and beat those two teams, the Bucks and the Vikings have just beat those two, then I have to think like at that point, if it gets to that point, then it would be lunacy to not take the Seahawks.
Yeah, so I got the Seahawks going to the Super Bowl. Who do you got through the NFC?
Through the NFC, so what did I have? I had the Giants beating the Vikings, the Cowboys beating the Bucks, and the 49ers beating the Seahawks. So that gives me Eagles, Giants, and a Cowboys 49ers rematch. And I'll start with the second one. You can only guess who I think wins that. Like I said, you didn't even pick the Cowboys to win. But like I said, it would be a short playoff run for them. Think they'll win that first game? Do not think they'll beat the 49ers. Or potentially any other team, save maybe the Giants on this list. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. I think 49ers will be in the NFC Championship. And I think Eagles-Giants, I think the Eagles are going to win this game. Because I think beating the 49ers and beating the Vikings and beating the Eagles, I think are two very different things. It's not like what you were saying where I can kind of have that vibe. Oh, well, if the Seahawks beat the 49ers, well, then they have a pretty good fighting chance against the Eagles. I don't think the Vikings... I don't think a one-score gritty game against the Vikings is going to translate in that same way as an offensive shootout with the 49ers. So I think the Eagles win that. So then I get Eagles 49ers NFC Championship. Oh, and then I got to call it, right? Did I misspeak or are you just surprised?
No, I'm just like it's good. If that's the case, that's a great game. I mean, that's a great game.
Yeah, I think it's a great game, and I think it might just be Brock Purdy's year. I'm gonna take the 49ers. The Eagles, they've been running too hot. They've been running too spicy. They've been winning too many games. Okay, and Jalen Hurts has played great, and I'm not taking anything away from him, but he's no Brock Purdy. Okay.
What?
I couldn't say that. That's a joke. That part. I could not say it. That's why I couldn't say it with a straight face. No, but. Sorry. That was me trolling. I've got to get mentally back on track. No, I think some of these weeks I just don't know how hot I am on the Eagles. And the 49ers have definitely shown signs of weakness too. They 100% have, like you mentioned, they should have beat the Saints by more. They kind of really, the fact they went to overtime against the Raiders, the Jared Stidham, whatever his name is, Raiders, those are definitely question marks. But I like how the 49ers are rolling. I like that narrative, and I'm somewhat worried. I know there was not like major injury trouble. The Eagles are overall a pretty well-rounded sort of roster. But I thought there was some stuff on their line or something. I don't know. I might be mixing up analysis from earlier in the season, and it's all blending together. I just like the 40. This is my worst take, right? This game is hard to call. I think it'll be a great game. I'm going to call the 49ers because it's what I've written down.
Yeah.
But thinking about it, I think this game's hard for me to call. I think if you get to this point, I think it's the two top teams in the NFC, in my opinion. I think it's a true championship game, in that sense. I think it'll be hard to call, but I think the 49ers will edge it out.
Hey, and it will be a great game, and plenty of people agree with you and are super hot on the 49ers, so definitely not crazy. I mean, we can't all pick the Seahawks. So in the AFC, I'll go first.
And we have an identical bracket here. We could take this differently if you want, because we called the same teams in this.
Oh, okay. Well then, so I got
it'll be the same or pretend. Oh, we'll see.
Oh yeah. So I guess then we can do it by game. That's a good idea. So Chiefs Jags. This one is not even going to be close. Like I said, Jags and Chargers, like they're just playing to get like blown out in the next game. That's what they're. So I'm
taking who gets to get blown out by the Chiefs. Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm taking the Chiefs there. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm also taking the Chiefs. I'll be honest. I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Okay.
Nothing else really to say about that.
And then after that, it would be Bengals Bills classic. So the game we unfortunately did not get to see due to unprecedented circumstances. I'm going to take the game
that was promised.
I'm going to take the Bengals in that. I like the Bengals. I've been a little bit colder on the Bills than everyone else all season, and I think that the Bengals are better than like Miami probably at their peak at this point. And obviously Miami's no longer at their peak, but I think that Miami would give the Bills a run, and I think the Bengals should beat them. So I'm going to take the Bengals in that matchup. What do you think?
I also have the Bengals to win. Maybe this is just saltiness from my ref rants earlier. No, but maybe just saltiness. But the Bills have, like, not that the Bengals have had the spotless season, but the Bills have played in some questionable. Have had some questionable situations this season, I would say. I think the fact that this Patriots game was as close as it was. I know the scoreline doesn't look super close, but the fact that this game was as close as it was, and I feel like the fact that it was this close with some questionable calls and so on and so forth, the fact that they didn't put up 40, in the situation that game was in, the fact that they didn't hit 40 is a disappointment to me. With how the fact you have 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown. The fact that you're gonna get 14, not free points. You're gonna get 14 points. Your offense doesn't even need to step on the field, and they didn't hit 40 against a Patriots team that's been weak, that they've blown out before. Is somewhat I don't know, but yeah, I mean, like you said, I don't know. I think it'll be a great game, but yeah, I think the Bills have some weaknesses. Josh Allen had yet another red zone interception this past week against the Patriots.
Yeah,
it was. I know there might be it was to Devin McCourty, his 35th or something career interception, something pretty high. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a question. The team really lives and dies by Josh Allen, and still, not that Stephon Diggs not amazing, not that other people are not amazing on this team, but right, the team runs through Josh Allen, and I think it'll really depend how the Bengals can deal with that. I think it's very interesting. Like, the fact that we didn't get to see that matchup unfold in the regular season makes this game even more interesting. And the fact that I'm 95% sure this will be the matchup makes it even more interesting. Like the fact that now we're just sitting and waiting. It's inevitable that this game will come practically, in my opinion.
Right.
That I think it'll be the fact that we were even kind of denied for good reason, denied that regular season game means I think this will be incredibly interesting to see how these teams match up.
Yeah, it sure will be fun.
But Bengals win.
Yeah, and I think that, for the Bills, my last piece on that would be you were the favorites to win the Super Bowl going into this season. You had the guy who was the favorited to be the MVP. You were not crowned, but you were the favorites. And now that you get there, I bet they're gonna play tight. I bet they're gonna be hey, this is this is our time. You know what I mean? Like we got to win this, right? And also, you know, I mean, you look for the Bengals for whatever reason. They're not the favorites after they go literally to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs aren't the favorites after they've basically just never not been in the AFC Championship for like 4 or 5 years. So that, you know, the Chiefs, they've been there, done that. The Bengals also been there and almost done that. So I feel like the Bills are just going to play a little bit tight. So then we both got Chiefs, Bengals. I got the Chiefs going to Super Bowl. This is my midseason picks. I had Chiefs versus Seattle. What do you got?
I know it's a new year, right? I know it's 2023 now. You know, as we all know, not sponsored by 2023.
Nope.
But the Bengals Chiefs played 4 times last year, and the Bengals won each one.
Yeah. Each
matchup they won. Just there's just something in the water. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to describe it. The Bengals just match up well against the Chiefs.
Absolutely.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I think the Chiefs would beat the Bills. And I think the Bills have a better chance of beating the Bengals than I'd give the Chiefs to beat the Bengals. It doesn't make sense. But the Bengals just have the Chiefs number. And I think that does matter, especially when we're not talking, oh, well, the historical record between these two teams over the last 80 years. I'm not talking 80 years ago. I'm talking last year. They got to play 3 times, including high stakes playoff, including the AFC Championship. And that's why I think it's definitely fair to take the Chiefs up. Right. I do not think this was going to be some sort of blowout game, but I think the Bengals are going to edge it out. 2 Super Bowls back to back. There you go.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, listen, it's hard to deny.
Gotta have different takes. Gotta mix it up.
No, it's hard to deny where they've got their number. So now we've actually got 4 different teams in the Super Bowl, which is great. I'm still on that, like I said, on that midseason pick. I was on the Bengals before the season started. So we got some good representation. I believe you were on the Bills for a while.
I think I was in the Bills for a while.
And I think you were on the 49ers at midseason. I can't remember, to be honest. But
at midseason I was pretty hot. I don't know if I had them going all the way, but I was hot on them by midseason, I think.
Yeah. So Chiefs, Seahawks, listen, okay. This is the Cinderella story, okay? 7 seed Seattle, okay. Seahawks, the alliteration is unbelievable. Geno Smith is their Nick Foles, backup QB.
7
comes in and just goes on an electric run. Meets the best QB in the league at that time in the Super Bowl, and goes on to lose to him. I'm taking the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, 35-27. I just simply cannot take Seattle that far. I mean, I could take them that far, but not to win. The AFC is stronger than the NFC, I think. So I'm taking the Chiefs. Who do you got in your Bengals 49ers Super Bowl?
I think I'm going to agree with you on one thing, and that's I think the AFC is stronger. I think the Bengals are going to beat the 49ers. Almost similar to the Cinderella story aspect, although the Seahawks are definitely more of a Cinderella story than Brock Purdy, I would say. Because there's still the whole team around him and everything. I think the 49ers, there's a lot there, but I don't think if they couldn't get over the hump with Jimmy G, I don't know if they can do it with Brock Purdy, unless this is a Tom Brady story, which maybe it is. But I think the Bengals have had a lot. The fact that they were to bounce back after the kind of rough beginning of the season, and they've been looking good. They beat the Chiefs during the season. I frankly have to go check to see how many other good wins they have. I do not remember off the top of my head. They beat the Patriots, which there's worse things to do. No, but I mean, I'd have to go back and check that more like for when we're actually at this point, for when we're actually doing a Bengals like for next week sort of thing. I'll review that more, but I think for this, I think the Bengals win.
I would like to see that. Yeah. I took Bengals to win the Super Bowl preseason. I like what they did in the off season, and I didn't think it really came together, but it's starting to now. So it's definitely think that's a good pick.